Hello everyone, today's video is about a car that we've been waiting for a long time, and finally we've got it, the new Porsche Macan. But actually at first there was a view, then they had some problems with the PO, then just some problems. But here, literally from the forest of that year, began to sell this car actively, and unfortunately there is no internal combustion engine yet. Anyway, the new Porsche Macan in an electric version. Let me show you what it looks like from the outside. Let's see it from the inside. But the most interesting thing is how much it costs in America. And accordingly whether or not to take it, it's also such a it's a burning question. I think, of those who watch my videos, mostly people are a family people. And I think, almost every spouse has had that question periodically. When is the new Macan coming out? Anyway, I've had my spouse periodically ask me that question. And now, I'm getting a chance to look at it. But to be honest, here is the story. I like it overall, but there are, as always, a few quibbles about its looks. The typical Porsche looks like a small Cayenne. A smaller version of the Cayenne is an interesting story. Headlights at the core, it's also in this style of Porsche. They look cool, but under the main headlights, there are also these very similar in design to the Chinese car. Why do you need them in the bumper? Well, maybe for better illumination, but I think that's too much with the optics. Such a grey-green cool color, golden rims equipment is not the purest with a Cayenne principle. How much does such a car cost in Europe? As far as I remember, maybe something changed from 86,000 euros, but it's probably for a bump kit. The interesting thing is that there are door handles, because practically all cars, and mostly electric door handles, are no longer available. But I think it's quite a controversial decision. But also, as in the salon, the lack of buttons, many people including me are annoyed here. A lot of very touch-sensitive things, but there's one more thing that I don't understand. Where is the dashboard? From above, it is obviously some kind of plastic, but it feels like they simply forgot to put it in when assembling. But this is the design of the dashboard. What's it done for? It's very unclear. There is room in the back. I wouldn't say it's very much, but the car is also small in principle. It's like a smaller Cayenne, as I've already told you. But in general, on the road, you will not immediately realize that this is a new Macan. Well, in general, what else is interesting here? I liked that the interior of the electric Porsche is not inferior to gasoline models, although it has a boring combination of grey and black, but it is pleasant in quality. On both sides, I was going to say the filler hatches, but there are hatches on both sides for refueling. That's convenient. That's what I've been telling you. You see, there should have been plastic over the dashboard, I think, maybe for safety, if the steering wheel falls down there. Although it should probably fall down, but I don't know. In general, who understands in this? Who has some ideas? Right why so made Porsche incomprehensible, but as you see, the interior is typical Porsche. But this is good, because continuity is very important, in my opinion, in the automobile industry, because cars are not cheap. Most likely, at least abroad, they are bought by quite mature people. And grown-ups do not like things to change often. But traditionally, everything here is as it should be at Porsche. In principle, I like the fact that there is no abundance of these crazy monitors. German restraint here as it is right to face. But about technical characteristics, it makes sense to Google. Again, how much charge will be enough varies from country to country. But somehow it seems to me that it's time for Porsche to return to its traditional internal combustion engines, including on the Macan too. This, of course, will multiply sales. But then there's this. How much does this car cost? In this variant, it is asked for $1,200 and pennies. I've looked at the prices of the new Cayenne. In principle, for this money, you can also buy a new Cayenne. Now the most basic question, what would you buy? A Cayenne or a Macan? The Cayenne, of course, is the older model. The Macan is newer, but somehow I think that consumers, not only in America, but in any other country, will probably choose the Cayenne. Maybe I'm wrong. Write in the comments, how you think? What is still optimal to buy? But in general, that's all I have today. Right, I want to get feedback from you. Bye everybody. Have a good view everybody.